They say there's no such thing as stupid questions, but the stars and celebrities who spoke to these reporters might just disagree. It's always important for journalists to do their research before interviewing an actor. KTLA Morning News' Sam Rubin experienced a reporter's worst nightmare in 2014. Speaking to Samuel L. Jackson during the press tour for RoboCop, Rubin asked Jackson about a Super Bowl commercial he'd once done, specifically this one.
This is unreal.
No, it's very real. This is what luxury looks like.
A perplexed Jackson asked what he was talking about. Rubin paused, then apologized before Jackson called him out.
You're as crazy as the people on Twitter. Right. I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
Rubin proceeded to apologize again before Jackson added,
We don't all look alike. We may be all black and famous, but we all don't look alike.
Rubin later issued a public apology for what happened, stating, I indicated to Samuel that I'd seen him during the Super Bowl, and he thought that I had confused him with the commercial Lawrence Fishburne had done for a car company. Of course, a Captain America ad had also run during the Super Bowl, but I immediately felt so dumb. I didn't bring that up, and he gave me the shellacking that was well-deserved. In 2012, extra reporter Jerry Pinnacoli sat down with Jeremy Renner and Scarlett Johansson to discuss The Avengers, and ended up in some hot water. Discussing Black Widow's costume in the movie, Pinnacoli asked Johansson whether she was able to wear underwear. Johansson obviously wasn't pleased.
What is going on? Since when did people start asking each other about in interviews about their underwear?
Pinnacoli dug deeper by trying to point out how tight the costume is, to which Johansson suggested she leave that up to Pinnacoli's imagination. Pinnacoli finally caught the hint that he may have asked an inappropriate question and tried to defuse the situation, but Johansson wouldn't let it drop.
What kind of interview is this?
Jerry Pinnacoli got into more trouble in 2012 when he interviewed Anne Hathaway about her role as Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises. During their talk, Pinnacoli asked Hathaway about getting in shape for the movie. Hathaway explained that it wasn't about being in perfect shape, but she needed to be fit enough to do the stunts.
It's all the boring stuff that no one ever wants to do. It's just watch what you eat and get yourself to the gym.
Pinnacoli then ventured into the topic of the figure-hugging nature of her catsuit, before asking her about what he called feline fitness regime. After this, he pressed her further about her workouts, and that's when Hathaway lost her patience with him.
What's the deal, man? You look great.
No.
No, seriously, we have to talk about this. What do you want? Are you trying to fit into a catsuit?
Pinnacoli squirmed, trying to make a joke of her response, before finally catching the hint and changing the topic. Channel 4 News reporter Krishnan Guru Murthy made headlines in 2013 when Quentin Tarantino lashed out at him over a question about the violence portrayed in his films.
I'm shutting your butt down.
And that's entirely your
This is a commercial
right.
from my movie.
2 years later, Guru Murthy became the story once more after he rattled Robert Downey Jr. during an interview on the Avengers Age of Ultron press tour. The interview took a turn when Guru Murthy chose to delve into more personal topics, including a statement that Downey had once made about going to prison.
Are we promoting a movie?
Downey Jr. attempted to deflect the question, expressing how he had made those comments years earlier and couldn't explain why he said what he did back then. But Guru Murthy pressed further, asking about the star's relationship with his father, and this was the result.
What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
Okay, that's okay.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
Media coverage of actors' sexualities often borders on the obsessive. While some stars are comfortable discussing such matters with the world, others prefer to keep their private lives, well, private. In 2015, Tom Hardy appeared at the Toronto International Film Festival press conference to discuss his film Legend. A reporter mentioned to Hardy that one of his Legend characters, Ronnie Cray, never hid his sexuality, before pointing out that Hardy had never quite given a definitive answer about his own. The reporter then asked whether Hardy thinks celebrities find it difficult to talk to the media about their sexualities. Hardy fired back,
"What on earth are you on about?"
The reporter and Hardy went back and forth for a moment, before Hardy asked the reporter outright if they were specifically asking about his sexuality.
Why?
What?
Thank you.
Okay.
Mel Gibson's infamous 2006 arrest for drunk driving put the Australian actor in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Gibson apologized for his behavior in due course, but it was brought up 4 years later while he promoted his film Edge of Darkness. Appearing on WGN-TV, reporter Dean Richards asked Gibson if the actor thought the audience would accept him after all his previous scandals and controversies.
That's almost 4 years ago, dude. I mean, I've moved on. I guess you haven't.
Richards pressed the actor further, asking again if Gibson thought the public would have moved on. Gibson, however, was clearly beginning to become irate at this line of questioning.
Let's move on, dude. Come on.
Richards stopped the line of questioning and added a plug for Edge of Darkness while Gibson sipped on his cup of coffee and threw a thumbs up at the screen. And the interview didn't exactly end on a happy note either.
Bye-bye.
The internet is a powerful thing. All it takes is one little rumor on social media to run wild and spread misinformation. And suddenly, everyone seems to believe it. A few years ago, the gossip mill spun out a story that Lady Gaga had male genitalia. Gaga herself never outright confirmed or denied this, instead, preferring to toy with the idea in interviews. In one interview, Anderson Cooper asked Gaga about the rumor. She replied, "Maybe I do. Would it be so terrible?" Apparently, however, this wasn't enough for Cooper. He pushed her further, asking why she hadn't outright denied the rumor, to which she responded, "Why the hell am I going to waste my time and give a press release about whether or not I have a penis? My fans don't care, and neither do I." In a 2024 interview on What's Next, The Future with Bill Gates, Gaga explained why she never bothered to answer the question.
But I thought about, like, what about a kid that's being accused of that would think a public figure like me would feel shame?